Here we are going under the first bridge, dutifully following our pilot boat Aurora, which Bernie, the Flotilla organizer, is on. You see him up in the pilot part of the boat. We will hope that they make it. We will see how they do on bridge clearance. Looks like they are going to make it with room to spare. So JaySeaDee with his 63 ought to make it. Alright, we're heading up the final channel towards the reversing falls to the boats of the flotilla that are following us. Combination of power, sailboats. Here we are just outside the falls that we will hang out here. This is the bridge that we will go under. You see the pilot boat up there in the yarn. So we will wait for the opportune moment to get through the falls. They don't look so awesome from here, but I'm sure when we get up there, they will.
What makes the reversing falls an interesting natural phenomena is that you have the St. John River flowing constantly into the Bay of Fundy, while the tide in the Bay of Fundy is going high and then alternately low. And so it's during these periods that we have an inrush of water from the ocean or an outrush of water from the river. And it's precisely in between those moments, called slack time, that traffic is able to pass through the narrows of the reversing falls.
This is it.
This is the reversing falls. One boat through. Two boats through. We are entering the reversing falls. John has the engine at full max to get through the falls. So far, so good. We are under one bridge. We are under the second bridge. We are through the falls. Good job, Captain. We will watch the other boats coming.
While the conditions here looked fairly tame, looking down in the water, you can certainly see some significant eddy currents occurring on either side of the channel. In fact, I saw a couple boats ahead of us get sucked in some of these eddies and literally spun the boat about 45 degrees to starboard, and the captain was pretty quick to grab the wheel and try and get it under control.
Well, it looks like everybody that was lined up to make it through made it through.
Some boats aren't going to make it.
I don't know whether Tug Digby made it up here in time or not. They were going to be pushing it to make it up here, so they were concerned about that.
One of the most important pieces of equipment you have while cruising is your dinghy or your tender. And you can see there's different shapes and sizes, and some people sit in them, some people stand in them, but this is your primary mode of transportation to get from the boat to shore. And this is how you bring your groceries aboard. This is how you take your trash to shore. This is how you bring your crew and yourself to and from the boat. And so it's pretty important to select a good dinghy and maintain it in good condition so you don't find yourself floating out in the middle of the bay stranded. And it's also fun to use your dinghy to explore different areas of the region that you otherwise might not be able to get to in your cruising vessel.
This is the reversing falls that we passed under yesterday. And as you can see, now that it's not a slack tide, it's an altogether different scenario. It'd be pretty difficult to navigate something like that. And so it's a pretty impressive amount of water flowing through there.
Yeah, you get that's water catching the
I heard somebody was saying that this is like 150 feet deep here.
quite deep.
The St. John River, which flows for several hundred miles through New Brunswick, is, believe it or not, actually responsible for delivering 70% of the fresh water that flows into the Gulf of Maine. We took a local bus into the city of St. John and spent a little bit of time walking around. Our group took a tour of the Bay of Fundy Traffic Control Center, which was very interesting, the way they track all the big commercial traffic in and around the Bay of Fundy. Then that night we went back to the Royal Kennebecasis Yacht Club and had a nice buffet dinner there, and were hosted by the yacht club members who gave us a thorough briefing of the St. John River and where to go, what to do, what to see, and what to avoid. And it was very helpful to have this sort of briefing from a local expert to help us decide where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do in the limited amount of time we had on our trip.
Back. It's Friday morning, late in the morning, and we've left the RKYC amidst a little bit of fog, but we're now traveling up the St. John's River in an area called Long Reach, and once again we have no wind, and so we're just motoring along here at a lazy pace, headed for a part of the river called Belle Isle Bay, and we'll transit up there and go to a place called Jenkins Cove and anchor there tonight, and that's about halfway up towards our ultimate destination of Gagetown. And so we're just sort of kicking back today. It's a lazy day, the sun's starting to come out, and just enjoying the river and the scenery and a little bit of sunshine.